Yo, it's RT, and welcome back to another VG Wars. This is the series where I take two games, compare them, and whatever game has the most points at the end wins. So this episode is going to be Sonic Forces versus Sonic 06. So it's the battle of the worst game. Which game will be the worst Sonic game after this video? What do you guys think? But before we get in this, remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and if you want more of these VG Wars videos, tell me in the comment section below, and also tell me what you guys think about my opinions on these two games. Let's get straight into it. Sonic 06's gameplay. So do I even have to say anything about this game's gameplay? It's clunky, it is glitchy, it's buggy. It's bad. It's really bad. It's probably the worst gameplay in a Sonic game. It's probably the worst gameplay, and it's not polished at all. Like, it's rushed out. Obviously, the gameplay in Sonic 06 is horrible, and also the loading screens are they're really long. They take forever to get through. They're annoying. So the gameplay for Sonic 06 gets a 4. On the other hand, the music is amazing in this game. This game is a soundtrack, if you guys didn't know that. This game is not a game, it's a soundtrack. It's just music in this game. You listening to the music for this game makes you think that this is music from a good game, and it's not. But the music honestly gets a 10. So the content in this game, so even though the gameplay isn't, the most enjoyable experience, there is still a lot of stuff to do in this game. There's a lot of missions, there's a lot of characters to play as, there's a lot of stories and everything like that. There's a lot of levels and all that. So even though the gameplay isn't the best experience and isn't the best gameplay, there is a lot of stuff to do in this game. And also, more content doesn't always make a good game, but I feel like content in like a mainline Sonic game is really vital, especially if you want to have a long gameplay experience. So I think the content in Sonic 06 gets an 8. Story is all over the place. It's not really clear to what is really going on most of the time, and it's weird. The story is kind of weird in this game. It's unique. It's unique. Even though the story wasn't the best story, I feel like they had the best intentions with the story. I think this is the first time they really went out of their way with the story. They really tried new things, and instead of just keeping the same, get the Chaos Emeralds and and beat the final boss, I feel like this expanded upon that a lot more. And I think the story, even though the story wasn't the best, I think the story had good intentions. So I think the story gets a 7. So now let's get into Sonic Forces gameplay. So Sonic Forces gameplay, it's just the one problem with the gameplay. Really, the main problem with the gameplay is the momentum and the momentum buildup. The momentum buildup is so clunky. It is not smooth at all. You go slow, then you pick up some speed, and then you just blast. Like, it's not smooth at all. The momentum in the game there's just no momentum at all in the game. You in the classic Sonic stage, you can go down a whole slope, but you gain no speed. You think going down a full slope you shoot up really high, but you don't. It's really bad. It's really bad. Even though that aspect of the gameplay is pretty bad, they also had good intentions with the gameplay. They did try, expanding upon the wisps, and with the custom character, you can have those different, power-ups and different, perks to what, animal you chose. And I think that's really good for the gameplay. That was a nice gameplay aspect added. So I think the gameplay gets a 7 for Sonic Forces. So the music. So music for Sonic games never fail, and this isn't an exception. But I feel like this music wasn't the best. it had, you know, definitely some nice tracks like, you know, Aqua Road and Network Terminal Inside and stuff like that. They had some good tracks, but as a whole soundtrack, I think the soundtrack just gets a 7. So the content in the game, there's not much content. You know, the levels are really short. You know, there's a few SOS missions and, you know, different missions you can do, side missions and stuff like that. But other than that, there's not really much to do. You know, there's nothing, you know, there's no post content or anything. There's barely any, there's only one DLC pack for extra levels. And those levels are really just really lazily built and all that. And it's not much to do in the game once you finish the game. And there's not much to do in the main game alone. So I think the content for Sonic Forces gets a 6. Sonic Forces story. Sonic Forces story is probably the most like bland, you know, effortless story. The whole idea around the story was a good idea, but the execution of the story was horrible. They barely showed anything. The characters weren't, you know, it didn't really feel like the characters were in, it felt like the characters were acting. It didn't feel like the characters were, you know, actually like going through these situations that they should have been going through. Like the most common thing said, Sonic was tortured and he didn't look like he was tortured. You know, instead of telling us that he was tortured, show that he was tortured. Instead of, you know, telling us that, you know, this and that happened, show that this and that happened. You know, instead of just putting a boss fight within a cutscene and changing the character up like Tails, just changing him up like that, show or let us play as Tails and let us fight Chaos. I feel like the story is just really rushed, is really bland, and it's really lazily, you know, executed, and it's sad how the story, you know, turned out. But I think other than that, I think the story is, you know, just pretty bland, you know. So I think the story just gets a 6. Alright, what is the worst Sonic game in the franchise, or the worst main Sonic game in the franchise? So let's get into the final results. So we got Sonic 06 at a 28, and we got Sonic Forces at a 26. So before y'all say anything, I think Sonic Forces is a lot more polished gameplay wise, and I think Sonic Forces is a way more enjoyable game to play. But the thing about Sonic 06 is that the whole idea and the whole intention around the game is way better than Sonic Forces' intention. I don't think they really rushed Forces as they rushed Sonic the Hedgehog 06. I feel like if they would have just not rushed Sonic 06 and just, you know, just kept on with regular development, then Sonic 06 could have been the best game. It really literally could have been the best game. It had all the tools to just create a really good game, but it was just rushed, and it ruined that. The rushing ruined the game. I feel like Sonic 06 had great intentions behind it and great ideas behind it, but, you know, with Sonic Forces, I just don't see, you know, the only two good things I see about Sonic Forces is the custom hero and, you know, the story, and even in like this, just the execution with Sonic Forces. The custom hero was cool, but like, you know, the gameplay aspects, the, you know, the momentum and, you know, the momentum build up, it's just really bad. And, you know, it's just the execution was horrible with the story. And I think with Sonic Forces, it was literally just execution with the game. But Sonic 06, it was execution, but it was literally just them, you know, rushing the game. If they didn't rush the game, then this could have been one of the best Sonic games, you know, top 5 Sonic games. So I think Sonic Forces is a lot more polished and a little bit more enjoyable to play than Sonic 06. But Sonic 06 had better ideas and better intention behind it, which makes it better than Sonic Forces in some aspects, but Sonic Forces is better than Sonic 06 in some aspects. So what do you guys think in the comment section below? I honestly don't. These two games are just bad. But, you know, what do you guys think? Comment in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching this video. Remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new. All links will be in the description below, and I will see y'all in the next video, bro.